Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel now. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at the total market cap, excluding the top 10 coins, because we want to see when this crypto altcoin season is about to begin. Or is it about to begin, or are we heading for further downside? As you can see on the daily crypto bubbles, we do have a sort of mixed bag at this moment in time. There's only a few coins up, albeit 1.6% for XRP, Toshi 1%, XLM 0.6, HBAR, and Stronghold as well. The daily crypto bulls that are down, probably the biggest one is actually 3.3%, and that goes to Onyx XCN. So we will take a look at Onyx XCN coin. We'll probably take a look at that correlated asset, Swiftcoin. Now, when I say correlated asset, that doesn't mean that Swift has anything to do with Onyx XCN, okay? That just means that they move in a similar fashion, okay? For me, they're both on a similar algorithm, and that is highlighted on CoinMarketCap. You can check that yourself, guys, okay? So let's just take a look. I've just been on XRP price chart as well. I did post this morning that XRP was breaking out, and lo and behold, XRP is breaking out now of this sort of descending white trend line, which sort of come to fruition. That was the top there, Tuesday, the 6th of January. So that was about 20 days ago. So, 3 weeks ago, give or take a day. Okay, so we just had a breakout now and it's been running up. So from current price action, XRP is looking to get up to about 17% in my view. And that's up to sort of macro resistance. Now, you guys are here for Onyx XCN coin mainly. Okay, so we're going to get over to Onyx XCN very, very shortly. Let's just take a look at others. This is one that I wanted to highlight to you guys. So I'm just going to come out onto the daily as well. It's important to highlight this because obviously Onyx XCN does fall into this basket of cryptocurrencies outside of the top 10. So this wouldn't include Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, XRP, etc., etc. So naturally, you've got this sort of head and shoulder pattern. So these play out 81% of the time. So I'm just highlighting the risk here. I'm not saying it is going to capitulate 61%, but if it does capitulate, that's the sort of price target we'd be looking to re-enter the market if we do lose sort of this sort of support structure, if you will. So anything below sort of 190 billion market cap, then I'd probably be looking at selling at least half of my bag in crypto. So then I've got some dry powder for redeployment for further downside. Okay, we're currently sat at 204 billion, just above that figure. So we're looking okay for now. So hopefully, these cryptos can invalidate, but we're a long way off invalidating this sort of macro chart pattern, which has been playing out over the last couple of years. Okay, guys. Okay, so let's just filter through the symbols and we'll get through to Onyx XCN now. So let's take a look at where we're at. We'll just remind ourselves it's been a few days, if not a week, since I've actually covered Onyx XCN over here on YouTube. I did post actually. Let's just take a look. I'll probably pin the last XCN video. So that was 20th of January. So yeah, about 6 days ago, unless I posted anything. I don't think I posted anything more recently anyway. But yeah, we've got the Discord link there as well, guys. So if you guys want crypto AI and you want to chat to me, I'm pretty much available 24/7. I don't sleep in these type of markets, especially in these conditions. A lot of volatility. So if you guys want to join, what.com/the block bulls. Back over to the charts anyway. Onyx XCN coin, we've still got that order block in there. So these are just marking out these sort of highs here, which sort of took place around sort of May of 2022. So, coming up to 4 years now since we've seen these pretty much all-time highs, if you will. So Onyx XCN at the time of recording, we're trading at 0.0063. Okay, and we actually retested here. So this sort of price action, this was the bottom by the looks of things. That's not to say that we can't go any lower, but as it stands in this current cycle, this is a low, and this is where it's interacted with that March 2024 high. We actually broke it in January of 25, and then we've come back down to retest it. So for me, the retest has been done. Now, typically what cryptos tend to do, you can see quite clearly here, it's self-explanatory. We're sort of range bounding between these sort of trend lines. So there's every chance Onyx XCN can come down to this sort of level here around 0.004 and a half cent. If it does come back down to this sort of dotted line, this bottom trend line here, then I will be back in the truck up for Onyx XCN coin. However, cryptos do like to retrace 50 to 60% of the move. So this is a full 100% of the move. Now, it's important not to read these charts here. So you can see that's up 183%. Okay. That equates to a 100% move. Okay, so a lot of people might get this a little bit tangled, okay, when I'm trying to explain this. So stick with it, okay. So this is actually a 100% move of this sort of up thrust, if you will, okay. So this is a 100% move. And then typically what cryptos like to do is retrace anywhere between 50 to 60%. So that midline there, the horizontal line in the middle, that'd resemble 50% of that move, okay. And this is typically what, after a decent move, this is what cryptos tend to do, anywhere between 50 to 61%, which is obviously a Fibonacci level. Okay, so anywhere between 50 to 60% move is typically where you see the retracements, and vice versa. If you see a massive drop, usually you see a retracement up 50 to 60% before any sort of continuation, if that's the way the markets want to play out. Okay, guys. So what I'm saying is Onyx XCN could possibly be a decent buy now. Obviously, it does come with risk as well, like I've just highlighted earlier on. So I would be placing my orders around sort of 30% lower, and that sort of coincides with that other chart that I was showing you earlier. If we just come back. So I know this can fall a lot deeper, like 60%, but this is the thing, guys. Not all cryptos, I do believe that cryptos, if it was to dip, it will affect all cryptos, but some are going to sort of dip further than others. Now, like I say, I do believe Onyx XCN will maintain that bull flag. Okay, so let's just find Onyx XCN. Still in a bull flag, technically. Yeah, all the way from last year, all the way into this year. Just over a year now of sort of bull flag playing out. But as soon as we break out of this bull flag here, we'll be targeting that order block, guys. There's no doubt about it. To my knowledge, we've still got Goliath mainnet still going live on the 3rd of March. I don't think Onyx XCN on their official X page has posted any differently. So you can see here, current price action. We'd be running all the way up there to this order block here. Okay, now what I do like to what I've not actually applied to these charts yet, for those of you that have been watching, is a measured move of this sort of range. Now typically what happens is, again, we'll be using this tool here. We're going to take the low. So what we're looking at, just to be clear with you guys, is we're going to be looking at highs and lows. And we're going to be using closures as opposed to wicks, okay, just because one, more reliable, and two, for me, the more accurate, because on different exchanges, you're going to get different liquidation spikes, okay. So what we're going to do is measure from the low after the sort of peak of the macro structure, yeah. I know all-time highs is up here, but this is the sort of pattern that we're playing out now. So we're going to take the high of the pattern, which is this point here. I'm just going to delete these lines, okay, just so nobody gets confused. And what I'm going to do is highlight. You can see these closures going in here, okay. So I'm just going to mark out a line here, nice horizontal line. And then what I'm going to do is just blend this line here so you can rejig it ever so slightly so it's accurate. So we've basically got the top and the bottom of this bull flag, this sort of channel structure, okay. And then all we're going to do is measure up. So I want the 50% at the top here, at these closures here, which is what's doing here. So we've got 100% of the move, and then another 100% move above would be a measured move. So we'll be coming up a top around here. And I've actually marked out this price before for Onyx XCN. I said, you know what, there's probably a strong chance Onyx XCN coin is going to get to about 30 to 31 cent if it is to start breaching out of this bull flag. So that would be our first sort of hurdle here. So we've got two hurdles, in fact. The first hurdle will be breaking out of the bull flag, as I'm marking here. Yeah, look at this respect here. So we've got this sort of high here. Got these liquidation spikes here. Again, we're tapping, we're testing. We've had a massive deviation, so we're a long way off from that white line. And that's exactly what Onyx XCN did. It did over a 2x retested and it failed. Okay, we're going to be looking for a new sort of run up. It could be from this sort of level, or we could continue to come down to this sort of dash line before we see another bounce. I can't tell you guys exactly what's going to happen there, guys. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, we can only identify key levels with the highs and the lows. So keep a little bit of dry powder would be my non-financial advice. That's just what I'll be doing. Okay, but certainly this is our first obstacle. This white trend line. As soon as we get a break out of this bull flag around this sort of level, which is around, it's just shy of, it's around sort of 1 cent now because this is a descending line. So as soon as we start crossing 1 cent and we get some sort of daily, even weekly candles with confirmation, we can then begin to get excited because that'll be our sort of first hurdle. Once we overcome that first hurdle, obviously we'll be looking at 3.5 cents, so that'll be our next hurdle, our next checkpoint. Okay, it could play around, could ping pong around. Maybe even create some sort of cup and handle pattern. I doubt a cup and handle pattern, but you can see what I'm trying to say. So something like this. So say, for example, we break out, we sort of range bound, maybe retest, and then we get a sort of breakout. Okay, so some sort of variation of cup and handle. Okay, not exactly curved, so I wouldn't be able to describe it as a cup and handle, but you can see what I'm saying, guys. We might see a little bit of rejection, some sort of consolidation at 3.5 cent before we get the breakout to the upside. Like I say, I'll be taking a lot of my profits around 19-20 cent, around all-time highs, but don't be surprised, guys, if price actually overshoots to around sort of 30 to 31 cent. Do not be surprised. So yeah, make sure you're allocating some funds to Onyx XCN, even at these prices, I guess, because if we are going to get up to sort of 30 cent, let's just measure up. So from current price action, you're looking at approximately sort of 48, 49x for Onyx XCN. That would be really nice, guys. So you only need around roughly 20,000 US dollars at these current prices to secure yourself as a millionaire if we do make that measured move to the upside once we break this bull flag. Okay, guys. Let me know, guys, in the comment section the height of Onyx XCN for this cycle. Next up, I'm just going to finish off with Swiftcoin as well. We've still got Swift. I've been very, very bullish on Swift. We did break out later on last week, but we've actually come back down into the sort of channel here. So it's almost like a fake out, if you will. Look at all this sort of price action here. We've got this marked in here. Let's just, I think I've been marking this out on the weekly, so let's just make this a little bit better. So something along that, yeah. So yeah, we've got daily candle there, which is correct. We've got these wicks. Again, seen a lot of respect. That deviation, so this is why we've shot back up to test. Again, we've had some sort of fake out there before rolling over, and then we've had a really good bit of price action here. So the only thing we've been missing here is some volume to make a burst to the upside. We've come back down to refuel, and we're literally just, I would say, we've got 28th of Feb. So that's this week. We've got Fed meeting as well, guys. Sorry, I've just got a really runny nose at this moment in time. I've just come back from the gym, been in the sauna. So my nose is leaking at this moment in time. Anyhow, we come back down and it looks as if we're sort of creating this apex. So this apex is being sort of created by this longer term sort of support line. Okay, so support meets supports. There's two lots of support, so I believe the bulls are going to step in really strong here. So for me, Onyx XCN is a very, very good trade to be having right now, just because of the risk to reward. Just making that comparison to Onyx XCN, where I do believe we could drop further 30%. I can't see Swift. Where's Swift going to drop here? This support is looking strong. And we've got the yellow line as well. So there's a lot of support, a lot of confluence. And look at these price targets up here. So where I was looking at sort of the measured move for Onyx XCN coin doing that 30, 31 cent roughly. We'll round it up to 50x. Look at what Swiftcoin can do. We'll do exactly the same what we've done on Onyx XCN. Okay, we'll do the measured move. So let me just delete that for now. We'll do the measured move. So for that high, this is exactly where Onyx XCN topped out, sort of late January, beginning of February of last year. So we're just going to drag that up to these highs up here. So make sure we're accurate. Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. So that's the high of this new sort of pattern. We've got the low there. Really, really accurate. So this is coming out all the way up here. So if we just mark that in there, ideally I'll stretch this macro support, not the support, the trend line for resistance. So ideally, this is probably where Swiftcoin is going to top out. Okay, when we sort of meet the target and it hits this trend line. So we'll probably get up to around sort of 50 cent. This is stipulating around sort of 53 cent for Swiftcoin. Obviously, it's a lower market cap, so obviously it takes less capital injection to move the cryptocurrency. So that's looking at approximately around 1,500% gain. So that's approximately 150x your capital. So it's just 3 times as many gains as the measured move for Onyx XCN coin. So Onyx XCN coin, Swiftcoin could be doing 3 times as many gains as Onyx XCN, and it's also less risk involved just because, well, in my view anyway, just because, we're at the bottom of this sort of support line, guys. But what I would say is Onyx XCN is a larger market cap, so there's probably more chance Onyx XCN moves before this. So potentially you could be running up Onyx XCN. If you see a lot of decent price action, you have a good week with Onyx XCN coin, for example, Swiftcoin is going to be roughly there or thereabouts, probably lagging Onyx XCN by a few days, if not a week. Okay, but yeah, just take it all with a pinch of salt. These videos are all for entertainment and education purposes only. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, the Block Bull is over and out.